Alvin Kamara might not have a C on his chest, but there is no doubt in my mind that he is 100% one of the leaders of this Saints football team. And I don't mean this in a sense that he's like a big rah rah guy, getting his team hyped up, fired up. I mean it in a sense that he is so honest and so real when he's asked questions from the media. Like, he is not going to give you, when he's asked a question, he is not going to give you some, generic, lame answer or some media trained answer. He's going to tell you 100% how he feels, and he's going to be honest. And I'm bringing this up because after that week 4 loss to the Buccaneers, he was the only player, at least publicly to my knowledge, that was 100% real and essentially not necessarily blaming the offensive coordinator, Pete Carmichael, but acknowledging that he has to do a better job. And he did a one-on-one interview with New Orleans Football last week. And just some of the stuff that he says in this interview is just it's so refreshing to hear a player just give you real honest answers instead of just your, generic run of the mill answers. And just an example of one of those right off the bat here, as soon as this interview starts, I'll go ahead and let you hear what he says.
Look at some of the stuff that happened on offense this week, just kind of what were your takeaways from last week's game?
I just feel like we got to be better. We got to go into the game with more of the things that we like to do, more of the things that that makes our offense our offense. Get balls into the playmakers' hands and in advantageous spots, in good schemes. You know what I'm saying? Get Mike the ball, get a lot of.
So if you need that translated, he's basically saying, do a better job drawing up plays, scheming guys open, getting the balls into your playmakers' hands, right? Obviously, haven't been doing a very good job of that. This past game against the Patriots, we did see some improvement in that area. But again, most other guys, you ask them these questions and they're going to be like, oh, we just got to do a better job executing. No, AK's like, we need to call better stuff. So, and in this next spot of the interview, Nick Underhill, I believe it is, asking the questions. He asked AK, why is it so hard to just, kind of get things going, and listen to Kamara's answer.
Why is it so hard to just kind of get the ball into the playmaker's hands?
When the play is called, we go out there and we run what's called. So,
he says, we just run what's called. We just go out there and run the play that's called in the huddle. It's not hard to read between the lines here and use context clues to what Kamara is saying. And in this next part, he actually mentions Pete by name. He says, everybody knows that Pete wants to be better.
Like DA said, I think, and everybody knows Pete wants to be better. We all want to be better. We all want to get out there and we want to go score 100 points.
So, like I said, he mentions Pete by name and he says, we all want to be better. We know Pete wants to be better. And the thing I love about this interview, if you haven't watched it, go watch it. It's a good interview, the entire 7 minutes of it. But you can't say things like this in an interview, and then the next week go out and fall flat again. So what I like most about this is he does this interview. He's as real as it gets. And then they come out the next week and they win 34-0. They have 136 rushing yards. He did his thing. He looked good. So that's what you call talking the talk and walking the walk, right? You do this interview and you're as real as you can possibly be. And then you go out the next week and you actually execute on the things you're talking about that you need to do better. And like I was saying a second ago, you can't put that stuff on an interview and then fall flat the next game. So that brings me to his post-game press conference after the Patriots game. And this right here, folks, is a leader. Alvin Kamara has developed into he's a captain without the C on his chest, right? I know a few years ago he had some body language issues. People said he was shrugging his shoulders a lot. He has grown so much from that. And it's just awesome to see, the leader that he's become. They're asking him about how the game went. And he mentions here, that basically it was a good win, but there are so many things that they can still do better. Listen to what he says here.
Able to stop the run. I just want to address, because I was just thinking about it. Tyrann Mathieu owes me a pick. I think Cam owed me like a sack or two. Mike owed me a catch. So I'm going to put Mike and Derek in the same bracket. I don't know what it was, the throw or the catch. Mike owed me a catch. Chris owed me a catch because I seen him make them catches before on that sideline. What else? I'm going to just blame something on DA just because. Pete was good today.
So they heard him say, I'm going to blame something on DA just because. But this right here is a guy who, coming off a 34-0 win, a huge must-needed win for your team, and he's still thinking back to things during the game that they can do better. That right there is what leaders do. They hold other players accountable, And he's saying right there, Mike owes me a catch, Derek owes me a throw, a sack, pick, whatever. So he's holding these guys accountable, even though they're, some of the best players on the team. He knows that they are capable of more than what they even put out in that 34-0 win. And then after that, he goes on to say Pete was good today, talking about Pete Carmichael Jr., not Andres Pete, of course. Let's listen.
What else? I'm gonna just blame something on DA just cause. Pete was good today. I think it was good to see Pete out there having fun. It was like he took a deep breath and just exhaled. It was collaborative though, I think anytime we can go out there, execute. We still have some penalties. Foster owed me one. C's I think owed me one.
So again, like I said, he mentions Pete. He had a good day, right? Pressure's off a little bit. They got some things going that they wanted to start incorporate, like some motions, some different kind of creative plays, stuff like that. And then he again goes into naming some more players that owe him one that left some plays out on the field and that may have hindered them, their chances of scoring even more points against the Patriots. And then this next thing you'll hear him say is my absolute favorite thing that he has said across this interview and the past one that I played before. So let's listen.
Just recalling everything that hindered us from being having the score go even higher, but anytime we can go out there collaborate, I think me and Derek were talking all game. I was going to Pete, kind of trying to nudge him to run some things that Mike likes, that the O line likes, some things that I saw that I like. Me talking to JT, talking to RC, just collaborating and doing what everybody's comfortable with doing. Talking to everybody, seeing trying to get in the minds of everybody on the O. And get the ball spread out and trying to be efficient on offense so we can operate. We got too many playmakers to have a shitty offense, and I think today
right there we have too many playmakers to be a blank offense. And before that, he's talking about how everybody's collaborating to come up with different things they like, and he says again, we have too many playmakers, and it's something that the whole fan base has been saying for weeks now. Too many playmakers to have a bad offense. Obviously, bad is not the word AK used here, but he is so right. And again, like I just was watching these interviews back and I had to make a video about it just because it is so awesome. Like I said, to see the leader this guy has become, stepping up, being vocal, being a real leader. This is what a real leader of a football team looks like. It's really cool to see. Just wanted to share that with you guys. Appreciate you guys watching as usual. Peace.